Thank you to the Conservation Symposium 2020 for giving me this opportunity to present. I'm FORTUNE RAVHUANZWO and I'll be presenting about native carnivores feeding on birds in an important bird area, FORTUNE Nature Reserve in Mpumalanga in South Africa. FORTUNE Nature Reserve is an important bird area and also a Ramsar site. Important bird areas are areas of global significance for conservation of birds. Ramsar Convention on Wetlands deals with international important wetlands, especially waterfowl habitat. However, in these areas, we find that there is predation on birds by different species. However, carnivores also predate on birds in those areas. Therefore, my study will be focusing on estimating carnivore diversity in an important bird area and their potential impact on birds. As mentioned in the previous slide, my study area was FORTUNE Nature Reserve. We firstly conducted literature review on carnivore diet, focusing on bird remains in the diet. So we look for different studies that were doing carnivore diet or focusing on carnivore diet, and we only focused on bird remains on the carnivore diet. We did our own scarce analysis in which we collected the scarce, we cleaned the scarce, and we used 3 different methods to estimate or to quantify the diet of carnivores. However, we focus on biomass consumed simply because it involves weight of prey remains in the diet, and the other 2 methods underestimate prey remains that can be completely digested. We also use camera traps to estimate the carnivore species richness. We then use occupancy models to estimate the habitat use of carnivores in FORTUNE Nature Reserve. We found out that FORTUNE Nature Reserve contains 22 beds of conservation concern, in which most of them occupy wetlands and grassland. Using camera traps, we detected 10 carnivore species, in which black-backed jackal and civil had or were the highest carnivore species detected. In literature, we found out that Cape fox and civil had the highest bird remains in their diet. However, Cape fox was said to be feeding on guinea fowls and chickens in farms. Then looking at civil, which is the second highest carnivore detected and second highest carnivore with a lot of bird remains in their diet, we used it as a model species. We then estimated the habitat use of carnivores, finding out that it occupies mostly wetlands and grasslands, which are areas that are occupied by our beds of conservation concern. We then quantified the diet of civil, finding out that it contains 2.62 biomass of bird remains in their diet. In conclusion, we found out that FORTUNE Nature Reserve is rich in bird and carnivore diversity, and carnivores found in FORTUNE Nature Reserve feed on birds in low proportion, but this might negatively affect birds over time. As you can see, we found an egg of a bird in the skirt of a civil in FORTUNE Nature Reserve. Moreover, more research is needed for carnivores' interaction with birds in other IBAs. Thank you.